Cindy writes in, what do you think about Rotten Tomatoes getting rid of the want to see audience score before a film's release? Now, this has been a big hot topic of the day. A lot of people have been discussing this today. And quite frankly, there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm going to do the best I can. But first things first, let's take a look here at what the article here says. This is what they posted last night at like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. After everyone had gone home for the night, Rotten Tomatoes dropped this bombshell, which I found to be quite telling. Now, they said, hello, we're making some changes. Today, we're excited to start our product update blog, which, by the way, you cannot find on the main page at all. You just can't. Over the past 18 months, we've made a number of changes to Rotten Tomatoes. All are in an effort to streamline the site and provide users with a more enriched experience. These updates include the launch of a new visual identity. You don't hate the red anymore, right? The creation of new original editorial video, social content, and a revamped tomato meter critics criteria that better reflects the current media landscape, increases inclusion, and more fully serves a global entertainment audience. Now, a big part of that has to do with the fact there's been many calls to action against the type of verified critics that are on Rotten Tomatoes, the ones that get added into the critical score, that tomato meter score. A lot of them are overwhelmingly white and men. And so that's been brought up as this like, oh, dear God, why are there so many? Well, because they need to accept more people. But the people that are in the positions to be able to get verified, to get the credentials to be part of this program, you know, they're predominantly white men. This is how it goes, I guess. Now they said here, we're proud of what we've accomplished, but let's get down to what you really want to hear about. Starting this week, Rotten Tomatoes will launch the first of several phases of updates that will refresh and modernize our audience rating system. We're doing it more accurately and authentically to represent the voice of fans while protecting our data and public forums from bad actors. As of February 25th, that would be yesterday, we are no longer showing the want to see percentage score for a movie during its pre-release period. Why, you might ask? We found that the want to see percentage score is oftentimes confused with the audience score percentage number. The audience score percentage, for those who haven't been following, is the percentage of all users who've rated the movie or TV show positively. That is giving it a star rating of 3.5 or higher, and is only shown once the movie or TV show is released. What you'll be seeing now is basically none of that. It's just going to have a blank number until this particular metric pops up. And that's really about it. They're also disabling the comment feature prior to the film's release. Now, a lot of people are losing their mind over this. They're like, we need to make an alternative to Rotten Tomatoes. We need to make an alternative. And they're getting their torches and they're getting their pitchforks. See, I'm of a different mindset here. For one, pre-release, who cares? Who cares? Pre-release, who gives a shit? I don't care. Look, it's been weaponized and not just by trolls. It's been weaponized by the media. This is a two-pronged problem that absolutely positively needs to be addressed. And I think Rotten Tomatoes is actually doing the right move here. I do. You may disagree, but let me just kind of break it down for you like this. Okay. Go back about 8 months. All right. Go back about 8 months. 7, 8 months or 8, 9 months, somewhere in there. And you had Solo coming out, right? Star Wars Solo story, Solo, a Star Wars story coming out. And they had the audience score is about 45%. So a YouTuber goes out there, makes a video, and he says, like, look at this. Nobody wants to see the movie. 44%. And he makes this big, hyperbolic, bloviated claim that it's not that's not based in reality. Because if you look, there's a number for how many people have voted to get that 44%. It was like 12,000 people. Well, just doing the general math, and I'm just going to run you through this. There's roughly 4,000 screens that a movie like Solo would be playing on when it first launches. Then you've got about 100 seats per auditorium on an average basis. Well, you multiply 100 by 4,000, you get 1.2 million. That is one screening. There are 5 screenings per day. So the math is about 6 million total screenings or total potential customers per screening or per movie per day at that metric, right? And that's an average. That's not specific. It's just an average. 12,000 of just one screening is 1%. It's 1%. 1% doesn't equate to shit. It doesn't equate to a goddamn thing. So it's a false narrative to run on that particular metric. It is. It's a false narrative. It doesn't exist. Now, that happened with that YouTuber and talking about Solo. Then you've got the situation involving Black Panther and Infinity War and Star Wars Episode 8 and Solo and people trying to quote unquote review bomb these movies. They're not review bombing anything because the audience, the want to see score is not the audience score, not even a review. But the media comes out and the media says, oh, they're trying to just downvote it. They're trying to tank the review score. and it's not accurate. They know that it's not accurate. So basically what it is, you have a troll group that in some cases with like the Black Panther and Infinity War situation, this guy claimed to be like an alt-right member doing this, trying to organize this group of a few hundred people, claiming he had bots and everything else, and it was all working on his behalf. But I think he just bolstered it up for attention. So then he runs this narrative where he's got, you know, trying to tank this want to see score. The media comes in, calls him alt-right, calls it review bombing or trying to attack the movie. Then that generates headlines, it generates buzz, it gets people talking about it. It gets Rotten Tomatoes to get a whole bunch of free press, because they do. They get a whole bunch of free press while they know exactly what they've said here, that the want to see percentage score is oftentimes confused with the audience score. They waited over a year to say that, by the way. Over a year they waited to say this. So they're not innocent in this. They have collected the hits. They've collected the attention. They've loved it. They've lavished in it. But this time around with Captain Marvel, it was a bigger issue. It got bigger, blew up. Everyone's like, oh, again, false narratives, false information, outright lying in some cases. This is exactly what happened. And so now they finally decided to act on it once it started happening to Star Wars Episode 9. So as we look, you can disagree on this one all you want. That's perfectly fine. You are still able to have your conversation about whether or not you want to see Captain Marvel or other movies anywhere. They're just doing this on this privately owned website. They're trying to make it so it doesn't get manipulated before the movie itself comes out. They want the movies to rest on their own particular laurels. Is this going to stop trolls from attacking a movie beforehand? No, of course not. Not at all. It's going to keep them going. It's going to keep it rocking 100%. They're going to, as soon as that audience score hits, it's going to get hit. Bam, point. It's just going to happen. But in the meantime, this actually removes the ammunition that trolls can use to try to fake audience bomb a movie, that to create a false narrative like we saw with Solo. And then we can also then see the media can't spin it into a victim-based narrative where sexist, bigoted men are trying to tank down this movie starring a female, which is what they were doing with Captain Marvel. So it just removes that element where neither party can play with their little fake ass bullshit. So it's actually for the benefit of people, which is one of the reasons why I first was kind of against it. I was laughing at it. And then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh, right. No, it makes a lot of sense this way, because that's exactly what needs to be done in order to make sure that we're getting a more fairer metric in regards to how this, you know, I should say a fairer representation. The movies get a better play. And it's not that the movies are pandering to the left here. They're literally just saying, look, you can't do this until the movie comes out. When it comes out, have at it, Haas. For right now. They're doing that for right now. That will probably eventually change, because this is Rotten Tomatoes we're talking about here. So they're going to probably cuck the pressure in one way or another. And that's just the way it's going to be. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Since you're here, why don't leave a comment? Let me know what you think about stuff. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that as well. You check out any of these great, fantastic, amazing commentary tracks by me. That's right. I'm not egotistical or narcissistic at all. I'm just your average, everyday, normal YouTuber. Thanks for watching.